Onje chembor zordan hingmi jang, zoner monum chembor nga gyata, pakar tarngam sando shirmaldo. Tomba tukje chanla kivsham sara, nechen rawar tsergi jankam sa, jawar tukji shanlawe alarman, jime panzo jawlak sorand.
In order to liberate sentient beings, let us give rise to the unsurpassable bodhicitta. Now let us continue our discussion regarding the profound merits of the Guru Rinpoche heart mantra. Originally in the sacred Tibetan text, there are both the extensive merits and the detailed commentary. But it seems that if the title includes both, it might not be appropriate. Previously, it was called The Merits of Guru Rinpoche Heart Mantra. Perhaps that's a bit better. Let's stick with The Merits of the Guru Rinpoche Heart Mantra, because within these merits, each individual syllable possesses its own distinct function and its own particular benefit. All of these are explained quite clearly, so we will now discuss the significant merits of the Guru Rinpoche heart mantra. Earlier, we already talked about the true and general aspects of its merits. Now, for each syllable in the Guru Rinpoche heart mantra, Oma Hung Benza, Guru Pema Siddhi Hung, this sacred mantra, when recited, consists of a total of 12 distinct syllables. What do these 12 syllables each represent? What does each one mean? This is explained quite clearly. That is to say, whether we recite the Avalokiteshvara heart mantra or the Vajrasattva heart mantra, they are both 6-syllable mantras. But this Guru Rinpoche heart mantra is actually a 12-syllable mantra with 12 syllables. It's as long as 2 Avalokiteshvara heart mantras. So, as we discussed a couple of days ago, I see that today too many people have signed up to recite the Guru Rinpoche heart mantra more than 100,000 times. Actually, this is a good thing. At first, I also truly wondered whether I could actually do it myself. Later, I did some careful calculations. If we were to start from tomorrow, specifically starting from August 20th, and continue for a full 100 days, if we were to recite it 1,000 times each and every day, we should be able to complete it within 100 days. The Parinirvana anniversary of the precious Guru should be December 26, 2023, this year. If that's the case, then the time available is completely sufficient. Of course, when we make the aspiration and then do the math, we find that it seems very easy. But in actual practice, some people lack proper awareness and mindfulness, so it's hard to persist. This is true. When we make the aspiration today, after calculating, it seems fine. I also tried it myself. If you recite the Guru Rinpoche heart mantra 1,000 times, even if you go slowly, it should be finished within half an hour. Of course, some people may have work and other commitments, but even with work and other things, you can easily recite mantras while driving, or you can recite mantras while doing other daily tasks. That's also possible. Of course, it's always truly best if every single day you follow our liturgical recitation method. Reciting in this way is very good. When you recite, please try your very best too, and ensure you are fully focused. First, practice a Guru Yoga of Padmasambhava, and then, when it comes time to recite the mantra, begin reciting. After you've finished 1,000 recitations, then do the concluding practice, which is the truly very special practice of the 4 empowerments for attaining spiritual siddhi, and then dedicate the merit. As for the Guru Yoga of Padmasambhava, it's in our Larung recitation collection. At the start of the Guru Rinpoche feast offering practice, you only need to recite the Guru Yoga, not the later feast offering section, and then recite however many times you wish. For example, you can recite 1,000 times or 100 times. After finishing, you recite this concluding section. If that's really not possible, if you're busy that day, just finish reciting the mantra. That's also fine. But if you have time, do it, reciting the refuge and bodhicitta. Then recite the Guru Yoga, and when it comes to the mantra recitation, recite all of it. And afterwards, if you have time, recite a praise, an offering prayer, and the dependent origination mantra. And after that, there's the Siddhi accomplishing section at the end. These methods in our Revealing the Path to Liberation also include a section on Guru Yoga. You can either use that for recitation or use the Guru Yoga from the feast offering. If you recite it this way, that's the best. So this time, because of a rather special circumstance for everyone, we are all reciting the Guru Rinpoche mantra together. Of course, everyone shouldn't think that Is it because now, whether it's at our demon subduing victory island, or because some obstacles have arisen at the Buddhist Institute, we have to recite the Guru Rinpoche mantra again? If there are obstacles, we are always amidst obstacles at any given time. If there were truly no obstacles, then any so-called obstacle wouldn't really count as an obstacle at all. Now, when we look back, actually all these obstacles in our lives aren't really major obstacles at all, really. Unless you are now unable to practice at all, unable to eat or sleep, then in that case, this might be considered a major obstacle to your practice. Other than that, as long as you are alive, as long as you can properly eat and sleep well, and your body can basically keep going and functioning, then some minor trivial obstacles, I think these things don't really count as true obstacles. So this particular year can also be considered a very special circumstance for us, because a couple of days ago, the lamas and nuns who reside here, they also encouraged everyone to recite the Guru Rinpoche mantra. And here on our side, many people aren't particularly clear about it either. Many have heard of it, but the specific method remains unclear to some. So I'm taking this opportunity to discuss the merits of the Guru Rinpoche mantra, which I translated over 10 years ago, and share it with everyone once more again. And it's not for this year, but in the future, whether it's our audio or a video, whoever gets it every year in order to protect yourself, to ensure your practice goes smoothly, it's best for each person to recite 100,000 times the Guru Rinpoche mantra every year. Just like in our institute now, every year, we recite 400,000 times the Vajra mantra and 300,000 times the Amitabha mantra. Basically, we recite them as part of our annual practice routine. If in the future we can, whether you are at the Institute or not, whether you hear about the merits of the Guru Rinpoche mantra or not in one's lifetime, if your practice and everything else goes smoothly, at the very least you should recite 100,000 times every year. If you do this, it will definitely be very beneficial. That's why I ask everyone every year to be sure to recite the wrathful mantra of Guru Rinpoche. This is good. Or you can recite Guru Rinpoche's main mantra 100,000 times. I have always encouraged everyone to recite it. This has been the case for many years now. So I think that in the future, every year, not only if we go over it once this time, then that's it for this year. And if next year we also don't have time, it's not possible to teach it every year. Many of our teachings are only given once, but for many people, if it's taught just once, it can be quite challenging to fully grasp. Some of the instructions will be remembered forever. Actually, this is very important. In this way, perhaps every year we should recite Guru Rinpoche's mantra. The method of recitation is just as I mentioned earlier. It's best to follow along with the liturgy, to open and read the liturgy text. That way it will be more perfect and complete. If that's not possible, that's okay too, whether you're walking, standing, sitting, or lying down, as long as you complete the required number of mantra recitations at any time. That's also acceptable. On this point, I think you all, although right now we do have some dedicated staff members working in various public areas, generally speaking, in the past we didn't specifically require people to hold a mala. But if you happen to have some extra time, after all, we are a Buddhist center, so it's perfectly fine for everyone to hold a mala. It's not like you're a government official. For example, some of our staff members, clearly you have time, whether you're sitting there or standing there, you can hold a mala. This is something our relevant supervisors should not have any issue with at all, right? Of course, if you are currently at work, then when you keep on reciting mantras without truly paying attention to others, for example, whether you're in housekeeping or at the front desk or working as a restaurant server or as a cashier or a doctor and so on, in these cases, if you keep holding your mala all the time, ignoring others and ignoring guests, that's not acceptable. But if you have a little bit of free time, you can hold your mala and recite a bit. It's not like you're a Communist Party member, so you don't have to act so serious and rigid, as if you can't recite even a single mantra. If you just sit there looking especially angry, that's probably unnecessary too. After all, we are in a Buddhist monastery. Many people in a Buddhist monastery, whether they have faith or not, even if they don't have faith, nowadays, if you look at the many tourists, you will see most of them are wearing malas, yet it's us Buddhists who don't wear malas. In the future, who knows what our institute will turn into. So maybe in the past there were some professional concerns, and some administrators felt that constantly carrying a mala every day seemed a bit odd. Maybe that's what they thought. But I'm not insisting on this completely either. Still, sometimes everyone should really relax a little bit, and that's perfectly fine indeed. Because in our institute, over the past few years, things have basically opened up. After opening up, if we really don't pay attention ourselves, it seems like our entire atmosphere indeed has changed a bit compared to before. There's nothing we can do about it. And it's not like we were the ones asking for things to open up, but we really have no choice. In the past, this whole mountain valley could be said to be filled with Buddhists, or at least people with faith coming here to pay homage. But now there are many, many tourists who bring all sorts of different habits and various behaviors here to this very place. In this way, the tranquility of the monastery in the future might be somewhat disrupted. Perhaps over time our entire environment, if we ourselves lack right understanding and right mindfulness, and don't take good care of our own minds, then compared to before, the tranquility of this monastery that has lasted for 30 or 40 years might also change. But there's really nothing we can do about this either. It's a global tourism boom after all, and that's a significant factor. Maybe through this way, we can help guide sentient beings, at the least in their mental continuum. For example, by circumambulating stupas or making prostrations, or when something arises in their hearts, like, wow, there are actually so many people here living their lives in this way. What exactly are they truly seeking? What are they precisely following? They might start to explore these questions. So I also suggest that when everyone is reciting mantras, you should often hold your prayer beads. Of course, if you're extremely busy, then that's not really possible. But usually, many people do indeed hold their prayer beads, which is quite good and beneficial. If that's the case, you should endeavor to recite them about 1,000 times every single day. It doesn't seem to be a particularly big problem at all. Of course, this is the calculation when you first make your vow. It's just like when many people buy a house or a car nowadays, they take out loans or pay in installments. When paying in installments, they base it on their current income. They consider, oh, how much do I actually earn each and every month right now? So in the next 10 years, there definitely shouldn't be any problem. Then they go ahead and take out a loan to buy a house or a car, but afterwards their job situation changes and they don't have as much income. In the end, they end up really pitiful and in a lot of pain. So the budget we make when we first make a vow and the actual situation when we recite in the future will often be in conflict. This absolutely includes myself. Every time I start out, I think, I'll spend this much time translating every day. I'll make fewer phone calls or do fewer things, and I'll really focus on reciting mantras. But later on, a lot of unexpected things come up. Things get put aside. This kind of situation happens. But no matter what, if everyone makes a vow this time, it is wonderful to have so many people making vows together. That is a very good thing as well. If someone truly has right understanding and mindfulness and arranges their time well every day, for people like that, I think there shouldn't be much of a problem. Because among us, some people have a very good sense of time management. There are some truly excellent people. But some people, although they speak very beautifully when it comes to actually doing things, they end up being careless and sloppy. This is true whether you're a Khenpo, a Khenmo, or just an ordinary practitioner. There are always differences. From what we usually observe, some people are able to keep it up year after year, day in and day out. But some are not like that. At the beginning, when they make their vows, they are sincere. But later, when it comes to actually putting it into practice, they can't effectively align their actions with their original intended intentions. There are all sorts of similar situations, many different scenarios indeed. All right, I really shouldn't say too much more for now. Otherwise, later on, I might end up speaking too quickly in the following parts, which wouldn't be good either. So today, let's continue with our discussion. We'll talk about the function of each syllable in Guru Rinpoche's heart mantra. This is something everyone should really take the time to learn. Recite mantras in our practice. But in the past, we might not have known. From the perspective of our own faith, this is Guru Rinpoche's heart mantra. We believe reciting Guru Rinpoche's heart mantra, Guru Rinpoche will bless us. This is the belief we. Aside from that, what exactly does each syllable really mean? What does it truly represent? This is something that many people might not be very familiar with. So this time, the explanation here is also given in a rather concise way. It's explained very well. Yeshe Tsogyal, the Dakini, at that time asked Guru Rinpoche, "Great Master, you have proclaimed such vast and immeasurable powers and merits. Your kindness is truly immense." Indeed, as mentioned earlier in general terms, the power of Guru Rinpoche's heart mantra is vast and boundless. This is particularly interesting indeed. If Guru Rinpoche had not explained it, we might not necessarily know this at all, the profound meaning within it. The merit and power of explaining Guru Rinpoche's heart mantra syllable by syllable is also immeasurable. But for the benefit of all future sentient beings, she requested Guru Rinpoche to explain it to us in a more concise and understandable way. This is Yeshe Tsogyal, the Dakini, and she made the request in a rather tactful way. Unlike Ananda in the Shurangama Sutra, her style of questioning the Buddha is a bit different. Here she says, the overall merit of Guru Rinpoche's heart mantra is immense. But if you were to explain it word by word, there would certainly be a great deal, because in some commentaries on Guru Rinpoche's heart mantra, if you were to write exclusively about its merits, there would be several volumes. Some great masters have said the same. So there is definitely a vast and immeasurable amount of content available. But for the sake of all sentient beings living in this degenerate age, could you perhaps explain in more detail just a small portion of the immense merits that can be accumulated? Then the revered Guru Rinpoche, with his profound wisdom, replied, "Good woman, Om Ahung Benza Guru Pema Siddhi Hung." This is what we recite. Om Ahung Benza Guru Pema Siddhi Hung. But in many cases, generally speaking, it's Benza Guru Pema Siddhi Hung. Our Amdo language, for example, is a distinct dialect. Basically, it is perfectly fine. You can recite it however you truly want. But our general unified standard is written as Om Ahum Benza Giri Banma Siddhahum. Then Guru Padmasambhava said, it's not my unique mantra. We say it is the mantra of Guru Padmasambhava. Mainly the heart mantra of Guru Padmasambhava. In fact, in the mantra of Guru Padmasambhava also contains a truly vast amount of content. The vital life force of the deities of the four Tantra classes is truly profound, is also already included within it. And then the 9 vehicles, the 4 Tantra classes are Kriya, Charya, Yoga, and Anuttara Yoga Tantra. The mantras of these deities are all contained within it. Then the 9 vehicles that we often talk about are Shravaka, Pratyeka Buddha, and Bodhisattva, as well as Kriya, Charya, and Yoga, which are concepts. Mahayoga, Anuyoga, and Ati Yoga, the profound essence of all 9 spiritual vehicles, is also profoundly present here. And the vital life force of the 84,000 comprehensive Dharma teachings. So what else is fully contained within this? All the Buddhas of the 3 times, all the Buddhas of the future, past and present, the heart mantras of the Guru, Yidam, Dakinis, and Dharma protectors, all of these elements are completely and thoroughly included. What exactly is the profound reason behind this remarkable completeness? Padmasambhava, the revered master, stated, in response to request of Dakini Yeshe Tsogyal and to disciples later, please listen attentively and remember this in your hearts. You should recite it and also write it down and teach it to all sentient beings, all living creatures in the future, for all time to come. So when we are explaining it this time, this is a concise summarizing explanation. In this way, in a certain manner, at first Padmasambhava gave to her the relatively concise mantra. Some of us might think within the 12 syllables of the Guru Rinpoche heart mantra, all the teachings of the Tantras and the heart mantras of the Yidam Dakinis and the 3 roots are all included. Can I recite the Padmasambhava heart mantra and nothing else? Actually, others are also necessary because sentient beings have different capacities. If someone has faith, reciting the Guru Rinpoche heart mantra is fine, reciting the Avalokiteshvara heart mantra is fine, and reciting the Vajra Sattva heart mantra is okay if someone has a karmic connection and faith in this aspect. But not everyone is the same. Some people are very averse to mantras and simply won't recite them at all. For such people, it's better to use more extensive methods. So sometimes we shouldn't think, Amitabha Buddha has such great merit, so there's really no need for any of the 84,000 Dharma doors at all, Amitabha's name. Actually, that's not the case either. Within Amitabha's heart mantra, there is immeasurable merit, but this applies to individuals, to those with a karmic connection with mantras, or to sentient beings connected to the Buddha's name. In actual fact, in terms of its overall meaning, it is entirely complete and entirely sufficient. For example, all the Dharma taught by Shakyamuni Buddha, do no evil, practice all good, purify your mind, the teaching of Buddhas. In this way, the Buddha's teachings are encompassed within three. Do not commit evil deeds, practice virtuous actions, and tame your mind. You see, within these three sentences, if Dharma is contained, then mean the other 84,000 Dharma doors are useless or unnecessary. That's not the case. Sentient beings have vastly different capacities. Even though, in terms of doctrine, everything is already complete, such teachings are not something everyone can accept. So when we explain, as the revered Guru Rinpoche also wisely said, why do we truly need to present such a comprehensive collection of profound teachings? When teaching, it is hoped that you listen attentively. You should also keep it in your heart, and in the future, you can recite it anytime and anywhere. Recite Guru Rinpoche's heart mantra and also write it down. This will also be explained in more detail below. Some people choose to write it down on paper, for example, or carve it on stones. In this way, all those who see, hear, or are aware of it will attain liberation. Indeed, Guru Rinpoche's heart mantra, since childhood I encountered Guru Rinpoche's and Avalokiteshvara's heart mantras. Whether writing them down or carving them, it has always been this way. At the entrance of the main hall of our Dromang monastery, there is a copy of the Sutra of the Fortunate Aeon. Dromang links to the Sutra of the Fortunate Aeon. So we specifically carved Avalokiteshvara's heart mantra and Guru Rinpoche's heart mantra, a stone mound for the Sutra of the Fortunate Aeon. If it's not possible to circumambulate the main hall or these, I think this is acceptable. And among them, I deliberately placed at the front, when I was quite young, the ones that were connected to my own faith and some spiritual experiences, a Guru Rinpoche heart mantra, and a very significant Avalokiteshvara heart mantra. This is very interesting. I myself have unwavering faith in it, just like what Jetsunma Yeshe Tsogyal said yesterday. With unwavering faith, it has great blessings. Originally, I wanted to place it in the library. Then I thought, when I leave this world in the future, maybe put it in some memorial hall. I thought about it a lot. But later I thought, if I put it in a monastery, it might have some significance for anyone who forms a connection with it. This should be from when I was very young, the two heart mantras that are connected to me. It's not very convenient to talk about the specifics. Up to now, I haven't told anyone about it. Maybe I won't necessarily talk about it, but I personally believe it has great blessings and holds special significance. There are many different stories behind it. So a few years ago, I deliberately went to look for it. It was actually quite difficult to find at the time. Fortunately, thanks to various circumstances that day, I managed to find something I hadn't seen in nearly 40 or 50 years. So I just placed it there casually. Although it looks like just a stone carving, in reality, some of its blessings are indeed quite incredible, I suppose. In Tibet, we also have many stone carvings. For example, carvings of Avalokiteshvara's mantra, Padmasambhava's mantra. Some of them appear naturally, while others are special ones from the past, including those who have been blessed by certain revered masters and wise monks. There are indeed all kinds of such individuals, and this may very well be the case. For some sentient beings who lack faith, they may not be able to accept it. In any case, at that time, Guru Padmasambhava, he spoke about these things for the benefit of future sentient beings, which means us, the sentient beings of the future. He taught us this heart mantra of Guru Rinpoche, so those who have faith may believe in it. Those without faith may not necessarily believe, but it's fine even if you don't believe. There are many things in this world that we believe in or don't believe in, not to mention some of the mysterious things we have or certain teachings within Buddhism. Even within a single family, people believe and disbelieve each other, arguing every day. You don't believe me and I don't believe you. Nowadays, in many relationships between men and women, trust and distrust have become very sensitive words. People often argue intensely about this important issue. So even people who consider themselves very reliable may have faith or lack faith, all the more so when it comes to things that transcend many levels, like the blessings and power of the three jewels. It's understandable if people don't believe in them. The environment we are born into, as well as the virtuous roots and karma from our past lives, There are all kinds of complex causes and conditions, so it's not a big deal if you don't believe. But if you do believe, and we often recite the Guru Rinpoche mantra, everyone thinks, from now on I need to diligently practice the Guru Rinpoche mantra. A couple of days ago when we talked about the Avalokiteshvara mantra, now many people say, now I have the words of good counsel at the beginning, middle, and end, so that's enough. Indeed, what we have discussed earlier can be considered quite successful. I've said this before, and it remains true, but many people don't have any impression of it. This year, I feel everyone is familiar with the Guanyin Heart mantra, still have great confidence, including what we talked about earlier. The sacred Holy Great Liberation Sutra and the magnificent Mahayana Adornment Sutra. It's quite successful, isn't it? All our diligent actions and efforts in the process of spiritual cultivation, if there are some changes, it shows that your listening method is successful. If nothing truly changes, every single day is just like simply pouring water on a stone. It will never get wet. It's like no matter how many classes you listen to, it seems your mind stream just gets more stubborn and harder to transform. In that case, listening to the Dharma, apart from the merit of hearing it, doesn't really bring much else to the table. So this time, I also truly hope that everyone will really regularly practice the Guru Yoga of our precious Guru, or frequently pray to Guru Padmasambhava. I also mentioned this yesterday. As practitioners, if we have truly received the blessings of the three roots, it's best to receive them directly ourselves. If not, then in our experiences, in our dreams, we should often think, now I am in accord with my Guru. Now I am in accord with the Yidam deity. Guru Padmasambhava, no matter what, even though I have not seen his noble face, nor have I received any signs or blessings, but he is my Yidam deity. With single-minded devotion, even if it takes lifetimes, I will never develop wrong views. I will pray sincerely. This too is a form of practice. So whether we are spreading the Dharma and benefiting beings in the future, or practicing ourselves, truly, if we really have some of our own real experience ourselves, not just theoretical knowledge and not just practical application, but in the process of our own practice, if we pray with particular devotion and become more and more devoted in our prayers, then when we talked about the 7-line prayer, didn't we say that if you truly develop strong faith and then receive some wonderful blessings, it is through the power of such supplication that the Yidam deity begins to care for you and bless you. This is absolutely true. So in my own personal experience, Guru Rinpoche truly and deeply wants each and every one of us to practice his teachings. If you practice, it will definitely be the case that no matter who you are, just like the moon in the sky, however many clear vessels of water we have below, the reflection of the moon will definitely appear in them. This is the infallible power of dependent origination. So for each and every one of us, as long as you pray with devotion and recite with sincerity, there are many ways for us to recite. Some mantras are inseparable from the Yidam deity, just like in the latter part of the great magical net, as it is explained. Padmasambhava and the mantra, whether it is the sound or the form, are inseparable. Think of them in this way. This is the better approach. If you truly do not have this view of non-dual purity, therefore, you should still diligently utilize the profound method of supplication. The revered Padmasambhava is to be invoked and called upon with utmost sincerity, much like a child instinctively calling for their dear mother. Furthermore, the eminent Mipham Rinpoche meticulously cited authoritative scriptural authority, unequivocally stating and affirming that if we recite the 7-line prayer in a pleasing and melodious way, if we recite the 7-line prayer, Padmasambhava will definitely come forth from the sacred land of Vajrayana. It is just like a small child calling out for their beloved mother. This analogy is very vivid. The key is whether we have faith or not. And if you don't have much faith, it may be a bit difficult for the deity to bestow blessings upon you. Of course, this faith sometimes also requires complex causes and conditions. For some people, yes, faith is necessary, but I really can't generate it. I can easily develop wrong views. It is difficult for me to develop confidence, but slowly repent. Anyway, at least we are familiar with this method. Develop a good affinity with this Dharma. I truly think that I am still very fortunate and incredibly lucky. Now let us meticulously begin to introduce and explain each word one by one of this profound mantra, Om Ahum Benza Ge Ru Ban Ma Si De Hum. Among them, Om Ahum is the heart mantra of the body, speech, and mind of all Buddhas of the 3 times. in Mipham Rinpoche's the 100 mantras for purifying negative karma and obscurations. The first one is Om Ahum. He explained many merits at that particular time. I distinctly remember that he also extensively quoted the profound Guhya Samaja Tantra, the revered 8 great sadhana tantras, and numerous other significant and ancient tantras as compelling scriptural evidence to support his points and arguments. Om Ahum is truly very important. Many mantras begin with it, including in many of our Dzogchen practices, to sever the 6 seeds of samsara. Om Ahum is the wisdom seed syllable of body, speech, and mind. Relying on its powerful fire, it truly burns away the seeds of the 6 realms and so on. Its accumulated merit is truly immense. Benza is indeed the heart mantra of the revered Vajra family. Jerry refers to the jewel family. Benza, in its original sense, actually means the Vajra. In Sanskrit, it's called Benza. In Chinese, it's the Vajra family. Jerry means guru. We often say jewel, the jewel family. Guru, wish-fulfilling jewel, wish-fulfilling jewel. The guru is generally associated with the heart mantra of the jewel family. Earlier, that should have been the east. This one is clearly the south. Then we have the west. Pema is the heart mantra of the Western Lotus family. Siddhi is the heart mantra of the Northern Karma family. Hung is the heart mantra of the Central Tathagata family. It can be called the Tathagata family or also the Sugata family. So in this way, here, Om Ahung Benza Guru Pema Siddhi Hung is actually the heart mantra of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas, the 5 sacred deities. The 5 Dhyani Buddhas and the entire. For example, in the jewel family, the Buddha associated with it is Ratnasambhava. Within the jewel family, it's not just Ratnasambhava. It also prominently features the revered Buddha Mother and the compassionate Bodhisattva, along with other protective and benevolent guardian relatives. Just like when we watch the 100 masters of literature and martial arts, everyone knows that there are 5 Buddhas around. There are holy gatherings from all 5 directions. Then in the holy gathering, be it a bodhisattva or a bodhisattva mother, all are already complete. So we carefully read and recite one, Om Ahum Benze Geriban Maside Hum, which is the profound and sacred mantra specifically associated with the 42 actually peaceful deities who are benevolent and enlightened beings. Can be included in sometimes when we chant and hear liberation, the words to be recited for each deity's mantra. It's still very strenuous, but here everything is possible. The 5 Buddhas and all the Buddhas in the mantras of the Tathagata and Bodhisattvas in the 5 divisions can include then, as shown below in the following section, Om Ahum Benza Geriban Maside Hum. In the following sacred mantra, it profoundly means that all peaceful and wrathful deities are gathered together in a unified and harmonious assembly. Om perfects the 5 Dhyani Buddhas of the Sambhogakaya. Ah perfects the immutable Dharmakaya Buddha. And Hum perfects the Nirmanakaya, the 3 bodies, Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, and Nirmanakaya, the 5 Buddhas mentioned earlier. The immutable Dharmakaya, Samantabhadra Tathagata, the perfect Nirmanakaya. Padmasambhava appears before sentient beings, manifesting various dances to liberate them. The 3 kayas of the Buddha are also represented by Om, Ah, and Hum, respectively. Benza perfects the assembly of the Black Heruka deities. Black Heruka profoundly represents all the wrathful Vajra deities, whether it's the formidable Yamantaka or the intricate Kalachakra or the great Mahakala. There are indeed many, many such powerful and significant wrathful yedams. When we practice, generally speaking, the 58 wrathful deities are present in the blazing wheel of great bliss above. What is present here are the wrathful yedams of Black Heruka. All of these are already complete within Benza. Geri perfects the Guru Vidyadharas. Here, Guru Vidyadharas, for example, Guru Padmasambhava, Guru Nagarjuna. Don't we have the mandala of the 8 great Vidyadhara Gurus of India? All of these are included. Pema's teachings perfect the Dakinis and Yidams. As for the Dakinis, for example, there are indeed Vajrayogini, Yeshe Tsogyal, and so on. Regarding Yidams, each Tantra and each individual person's own Yidam practice is quite different. Sita specifically refers to the various wealth deities and the very life essence of the treasure revealers. Within Sita, all, for example, the well-known yellow Jampala, Zampala, and so on are included, as well as the treasure lords. Each treasure master and the treasure lords specifically entrusted by them are all distinctly and uniquely different in their own way. Their life essence or heart mantras, Hum, is the life essence of all Dharma protectors without exception. That is to say, all the Dharma protectors. So here it can be said that whether it is all peaceful or wrathful yidams, Dharma protectors or dakinis, their heart mantras are all included. So looking at it this way, actually, if we practice, especially if we do extensive practice, of course, every guru and every yidam has a particularly elaborate ritual for practice. So if we combine then you should chant Guru Rinpoche's mantra every day. That's also possible. Om Ahum Benza Gurba Masada Hum. Om Ahum is the lifeblood of the three traditions. Some versions say that there are three inheritances, which are often referred to as the three inheritances. For example, there is such a thing as the Vidyadhara transmission and also the Bodhisattva ear transmission. These can also be transmitted by the Tathagata secret. But there are also some that talk about the three sequels. There are different versions. I also haven't had the chance to look into it in detail. Some sources mention the three classes of Tantra. If it's referring to the three classes of Tantra, there are also some other Tantras that follow. As for the three classes, Kriya Tantra, Charya Tantra, and Yoga Tantra, we will delve into this particular aspect in more detail at a subsequent point in our discussion, providing a comprehensive explanation and further insights as we progress through the presentation. Are the three distinct classes of Tantra, generally speaking, truly encompassing all the various Tantras within this profound spiritual tradition? And if we carefully distinguish between these three fundamental classes, are they indeed considered the foundational three-root Tantras? Anyway, there are different versions. This isn't particularly easy to understand, so we will just see this later on. Let's see if we can truly find out then, indeed, a more reasonable way to really explain it. The three classes of Tantra are also discussed later on in this text, if that's the case. Is this a general explanation and the following a more detailed? Om Ahum, or perhaps it is referring to the profound and intricate Tantra of the body Vajra, the Tantra of the speech Vajra, and the Tantra of the mind Vajra. Could there be Tantras related to these aspects? We'll look into how this is explained later. Benza is the lifeline of the Vinaya and Sutra collections. Geri refers to the Abhidharma collection. In other words, these are the foundations of the three baskets, Tripitaka. If we want to study all the sutras, Vinaya and Abhidharma now, there are so many in the Tripitaka, but their essence, their lifeblood, is also found in these. There's also the lifeline of the Kriya Tantra. Banma refers to the lifeblood of the Charya Tantra and Yoga Tantra. Siddhi is the lifeblood of the Mahayoga and the Anu Yoga. Hum refers to the lifeblood of the Dzogchen Ati-yoga. So indeed, from the exoteric to the esoteric traditions, all of these sacred scriptures and tantras, you see, that is to say, our Tripitaka, for example, the Tibetan Tripitaka consists of 104 volumes. Within these 104 volumes, there are basically many tantras and scriptures, and the very essence of these profound teachings is also fully included here. So, as for these sacred mantras, why do they possess such great merit? Actually, these holy beings of the past were blessed in this way by all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So when we talk about the ritual of the world-honored one, just the sacred mantra, Tadyatha Om Muni Muni Mahamunya Soha, the profound merit of this is that even Avalokiteshvara attained realization through this powerful mantra, and so did Shakyamuni Buddha, and so on. The merit of a single mantra is truly immense. So among some of our Dharma friends, there are those who especially love to recite mantras and have great faith in mantras. Some people, however, lose interest as they recite and don't want to continue, and some even feel quite averse. Of course, this is due to different karmic forces. We can't generalize, since every sentient being truly has their own unique and individual preferences, different inclinations, different habits, and different causes and conditions. There are so many differences. So it's not just about people from the east, south, west, or north, even twins. His faith and foundation are completely different. This is also reasonable. We sometimes, for example, those who are a little naughty and prone to wrong views, don't hate these people too much. It makes sense for them to do so. The next, Om Ahum Benza Gariba Masada Hum. The following discussion is mainly about purifying the 5 poisons. Om Ahum effectively purifies the 3 poisons. Just now, when we were talking about the 3 classes of Tantra, that was also a general explanation. If you look here, actually the 3 poisons are also greed, anger, and ignorance. Then below, each one is explained individually. So just now, the 3 classes of Tantra, Kriya, Charya, and Yoga Tantras, that was a general explanation. Here as well, Omahum is the general explanation. Then below they are explained separately. With Benza, the obstacle of anger is purified. With Jeri, the obstacle of pride is purified. With Pema, the obstacle of attachment is purified. With Siddhi, the obstacle of jealousy is purified. With the syllable hum, the obstacles of all afflictions are purified. So what comes immediately after can also be considered yet another way of effectively summarizing. Originally, these afflictions are also in essence, but earlier was a general explanation. Then in the middle, explained. And at end with the syllable hum, it also naturally purifies all obstacles caused by all afflictions completely. So when we devoutly recite Guru Rinpoche's profound heart mantra, it's not only an extremely powerful and efficacious mantra, but it also significantly helps us to purify many of the various obstacles that we may encounter. Indeed, for some of us, we usually recite the Vajra heart mantra to purify obstacles and to recite the Manjushri heart mantra in order to develop wisdom. Their functions and their respective effects are like this, but each mantra also has some other significant and notable effects. I think I mentioned before in the past, in the brief account of rainbow body attainment in Vajrayana, that there was a Lama who, when he went to India in the past, encountered bandits on the way. Later, he tragically ended up killing someone. After this terrible act of killing, he probably felt an especially profound sense of remorse when he returned. He secluded himself in a cave for 30 years to repent. Later, he recited about 700 million times the heart mantra of Guru Rinpoche. Later, he attained realization, and about 2/3 of his physical body achieved the rainbow body. And at that time, it seems he handed his mala to Longdo Rinpoche. Longdo Rinpoche himself also recited the Guru Rinpoche heart mantra many times. I have such a record from that time. This was recounted orally by Longdo Rinpoche. I don't know exactly how he described it then. I might have forgotten now how it was recounted orally. But in writing, I remember recorded like this. I can't recall where it was recalled. I can't recall it clearly now. I wanted to ask Longdo Rinpoche, but Longdo Rinpoche is old, so he might not remember clearly either. Anyway, what was recorded in writing before is definitely true. So that person recited the Guru Rinpoche heart mantra 700 million times. And in the end, even the negative karma from killing and all those obstacles were purified. So after many of us recite the Guru Rinpoche heart mantra, it is as if all obstacles in one's continuum are purified. So the Padmasambhava mantra is a very good and powerful mantra for repentance. Then the following, Omahum Benza Hum, a sacred mantra. This is mainly the 3 bodies and 5 wisdoms. If you chant, you will gain the 3 bodies and 5 wisdoms. With Omahum, gain the merits of Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, and Nirmanakaya. Or you will obtain the 3 bodies in the future. With Benza, you attain the wisdom of the Great Mirror. Among the 5 kinds of wisdom, this is the wisdom of the Great Mirror. With Jeri, attain wisdom of equality. With Banma, attain wisdom of discriminating awareness. With Siddhi, you attain the wisdom of accomplishing activities. With Hum, you attain all-encompassing wisdom. Sometimes we call it the wisdom of the Dharma Dhatu. Sometimes we refer to it as all-encompassing wisdom. All-encompassing wisdom and the wisdom of the Dharma Dhatu. Because the wisdom of the Dharma Dhatu is the root of the 4 wisdoms. So in some scriptures, the wisdom of the Dharma Dhatu is mentioned. In the past, some texts did not mention the wisdom of the Dharma Dhatu. It seems that we have already analyzed this when discussing the ornament of the sutras. Why do some Buddhist sutras specifically mention 4 distinct wisdoms, while other sacred texts mention 5 profound wisdoms, and some sutras even mention other different classifications of wisdom? So here one attains the 3 bodies and 5 wisdoms. If you recite the Guru Rinpoche heart mantra, if you wish to attain the wisdom of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, recite it more often. You could say this is a way to open up wisdom. Recite the Guru Rinpoche heart mantra. If you attain the 5 wisdoms, then the wisdom you gain will definitely be vast. If the wisdom of the 3 bodies and 5 wisdoms were not great, then even the Buddha's wisdom would not be great. This is a way to open up wisdom. When we recite the Guru Rinpoche heart mantra, on one hand, it is for confession. On the one hand, it opens wisdom. And if you recite the mantra of Guru Rinpoche, it can subdue demons. Omahum Benza Hum. With the Omahum mantra, subdue or tame the gods, humans, ghosts, and other demons. Sometimes we are humans who turn into demons, witches, and devils. Sometimes there are demons and devils in the sky. All in our world. Oma home often subdues these ghosts and gods. Benza subdues certain sense-seeking ghosts and fire spirit ghosts. Nowadays, when a fire breaks out, whether it's a house fire or a forest fire, these are all caused by angering the fire spirits. Perhaps the reason for global warming now is that fire spirits can appear at any time. So on one hand, we should recite Guru Rinpoche's mantra more often, and on the other hand, we should raise our own awareness about fire prevention. Currently, our institute is probably also actively working in this specific area of research and development, and we possess various comprehensive kinds of awareness and understanding regarding this important subject. Indeed, when we meticulously construct different types of buildings, including personal residences and other similar structures, we take these considerations into account. We also hope that, on one hand, we recite Guru Rinpoche's mantra, but it's not as if every day, as long as I simply recite Guru Rinpoche's mantra, that is quite enough, and I don't need any fire prevention awareness for this particular house. That's not acceptable either. Mantras do have merit, but in the process of what we humans do, nowadays some people have two-story houses, and there are also some especially flammable things, so we really need to pay attention ourselves. For public buildings in general, everyone knows that if a fire breaks out, it is absolutely essential to act quickly and decisively. How to escape? The other day, I went to a rather secluded monastery, and all of the clearly marked emergency exits, which were quite numerous and strategically placed, the passageways for use in case of fire, were all locked shut. At that particular time, I sternly criticized the caretaker and expressed my strong disapproval, saying, if all these are locked, then how will you? If a fire ever breaks out in the future, what exactly will you do? Nowadays, in public buildings, there are basically always those designated passageways for fire emergencies, but I see that in some private buildings, it really is a bit dangerous. So we should also make preparations in advance ourselves. If, for example, a fire breaks out on the first floor, what should we do? This time in Hawaii, many people really had no other choice, and in the end they jumped into the Pacific Ocean. Some people did it to escape the fire, while others found the fire just too terrifying. From within the vast and deep Pacific Ocean, with their bodies completely submerged in the vast sea, they watched their very own houses burn down before their eyes. Actually, when we talk about these scenes, if we truly put ourselves in their shoes, it really is a very painful experience. So each and every one of us should possess a strong fire safety awareness. It's impossible for us to, unfortunately, build a collective fire escape for everyone. That's just not possible. But in fact, including our institute, in the past, we relied on the blessings of the three jewels and nothing happened. But in the near future, especially within our women's residential area, where the houses are very closely situated together, if something does happen, it really is very hard to escape. Especially if it happens in the middle of the night, it's even more concerning. We should all be thoroughly prepared in advance ourselves. In case something unexpected happens, we should know precisely where the windows are or how to safely get out. These aspects are still necessary. This kind of fire prevention awareness is needed. You never know when the fire god might get angry. If we end up burning something, actually, these spirits and deities can sometimes be very sensitive and easily offended. It's quite hard to say, really. In the past, when some of the Institute's buildings caught fire, sometimes the reasons were really strange and unusual. The electric stove wasn't even turned on. Back when I was residing in the school dormitory, there was also a significant fire that unfortunately broke out. However, this particular incident was also somewhat directly related to our own careless actions. Later, the principal personally scolded me quite severely. He said, why weren't you all more careful? I said, we were already being careful. Maybe at that time there were fire spirits or fire demons. Then the principal got even angrier. What kind of education have you received? Where are there any ghosts or spirits? I said, if it wasn't ghosts or spirits, how could there have been a fire here when there wasn't even a spark? Actually, at that time I was reading and my candle started the fire, but I did it on purpose. And then some of our classmates put their pants on backwards. Some even wore their shirts as pants. Everyone outside the school was putting out the fire, and finally it was extinguished. I had a truly beautiful and very nice black wool coat. It was absolutely the only and best piece of clothing I possessed. Tragically, half of it was completely burned up, so it became utterly useless after that incident. I was really and deeply heartbroken at that time. So sometimes the fire deity as well. But reciting Guru Rinpoche's powerful mantra does indeed make it easier to dispel them. And then there's Geri, which effectively subdues certain powerful Yama and formidable Rakshasa demons. There's also Banma, which effectively subdues various water and wind deities. Sometimes when floods occur, it's because the water deity is displeased. Sometimes it's the wind. For example, strong winds, including some nowadays, even level 6 or 7 wind disasters can happen. All kinds of storms and tornadoes. These are also wind deity demons. There's also reciting Siddhi, which subdues yakshas. As for Zizatian, the Lord of Freedom, it seems that in some versions it's referred to as the Earth Lord. The Earth Lord could mean the local earth deity, some earth gods or local land deities. Maybe we should change it to local land deity. I've looked at 2 versions. In an earlier version it was Zizatian, but this time I clearly observed that there are indeed 2 distinct versions. I was unable to locate the authentic original version, therefore diligently reciting the powerful Guru Rinpoche's mantra can effectively subdue these troublesome beings. There's also the practice of reciting the syllable hum. What does it subdue? Malignant stars. Sometimes when the celestial phenomena are unfavorable, and there are all kinds of diverse stars and various planetary influences, including some astrological signs that are inherently not compatible with each other, leading to all sorts of complex and intricate things like that. Actually, from a broader cosmic perspective, humans might be just one small and perhaps insignificant aspect among many, many others. And these malevolent demons and spirits may truly exist as well. I've also encountered many of them myself. I used to be a materialist and an atheist. I didn't believe in anything. I didn't believe in heaven or hell. I didn't believe in ghosts, deities, or the 3 jewels. I didn't believe in anything at all. But later I got sick myself. After doing some bad things, I immediately angered some spirits and deities. At that point, I had no choice but to admit it. Whether it was in my dreams or appearing in my hallucinations, it happened. So these spirits and deities, even though some teachings might assert they don't truly exist, they actually do indeed exist in reality. These demonic beings, we often recite the Guru Rinpoche mantra, it's true. In Tibet, we all have this habit. For example, if you go to a particularly dangerous place, or if the place is known to be hazardous, where a significant number of people have tragically died in the past, then unfortunate situations like this can indeed happen, unfortunately. It seems this still happens now, not just in the past. In 2010, there were many suicides by jumping at Foxconn. Consecutive jumps, 13 people jumped one after another in the same place. Sometimes things like this are invisible to our eyes, but the place itself is truly completely out of the ordinary. For example, in the very unfortunate case of car accidents, there are some places where people simply, it seems like there's a real road ahead, and as soon as the driver drives forward, the vehicle has already gone over the cliff. And it's not just one person. Many, many people have crashed in precisely the same way, one after another. Phenomena like this, spirits and ghosts, do indeed exist. Du Wentao once interviewed a rather famous female police officer. She mentioned that there are indeed some spirits and ghosts, and that there is actually a significant amount of truth to their existence. She explained this complex and often debated topic quite clearly and thoroughly as well. Moreover, when they were actively involved in solving certain intricate and challenging cases, the dead would appear in dreams, saying, "I am buried in such and such a place." Later, when the police actually went to thoroughly dig at that specific location, they really did find the deceased body. So these particular things, that female police officer, I forgot her name, she's quite famous, she herself had no particular beliefs at all. She was simply stating the facts from a purely professional perspective. But she had to reluctantly admit that in fact some spirits and even ghosts do indeed exist. There were several examples mentioned in this context. I can't remember them now. There are also some doctors who often deal with individuals who have unfortunately died. They also tend to witness such profound and often unsettling things much more frequently. And those who often work diligently on solving complex and challenging cases, especially homicide cases, these are included as well. There are also some individuals, including dedicated prison guards, who are responsible for managing correctional facilities. These particular people often encounter various invisible spirits and unsettling ghosts during the course of their duties. Actually, when it comes to these sorts of things, when we encounter all kinds of spirits and ghosts, including when you have vivid nightmares or in real life, it really does seem like there are some non-human beings or spirits who might be harming me. When your health is poor or your mood is bad, and during your spiritual practice, it can feel like you just can't go on anymore. Sometimes it's a demon interfering, At challenging times like this, if you sincerely recite the sacred Guru Rinpoche mantra with all your heart and might, it truly feels like the heavy clouds suddenly part and the brilliant sun immediately comes out. You instantly and clearly see the profound truth. So indeed, the merit of reciting the Guru Rinpoche mantra is that it is also a very powerful mantra for subduing demons. In the past, when we went to some places that were rather where many people had died or many had committed suicide, when we went to these places, we would recite the mantra as we walked. Sometimes when I came home from school at night, it wasn't like how it is now in the city. I had to cross mountains and ridges, and if it was nighttime, under the pale moonlight, if there was a dense forest ahead, there was a narrow, winding path through the dark woods. In a place where many people had died, on one hand, I was really scared. Sometimes when I heard a sudden, unsettling noise, perhaps a scurrying rat, it felt like all the hair on my head was standing up. So I would quietly recite the Guru Rinpoche mantra as I walked. At that particular time, I truly felt it was very powerful and absolutely full of blessings. This might also be related to our family background, because in our family, we had faith in these mantras from a young age. So whenever something happened, I would immediately think, oh, I should pray to Guru Rinpoche. Especially when it came to removing significant obstacles, we would recite this mantra. Either the Guru Rinpoche mantra or the Tara mantra. We would instantly and completely switch our focus to this particular thing. Nowadays, perhaps not everyone is quite like this. But no matter what, it's a very good habit to develop in the future. Next, let's talk about accomplishing one's daily work or activities. So the powerful Padmasambhava mantra. So the Guru Rinpoche mantra has different effects and functions. For example, when we take medicine, this medicine has different effects and many special functions. Om Ahum Benza Hum. Accomplishing the 6 paramitas with the sacred mantra Om Ahum. You can also accomplish all cessation of negative karma with the powerful mantra Banze, including your poor health, any existing illness, and all other obstacles. This kind of business that is completely extinguished. Giri achieves all the increase of karma, increase your financial wealth, and significantly enhance your professional reputation. Your immense power, your formidable might, and your unwavering strength will be recognized and respected. Some people say yes. I don't know why these days. I have no strength. If you truly desire to possess great strength, then you must diligently read and recite the sacred mantra Om Ahum Benze Geriban Masidehum. It appears that various temples located in different countries abroad also practice and revere this teaching. Their method of chanting Guru Rinpoche's sacred mantra, all different. Some are powerful types. Om Ahum Benze Geri Banmaside Hum. Sometimes it is a very quiet and elegantly soft sound. Some are equivalent to a powerful and majestic force. The sound of a cascading waterfall is like that of a continuously flowing stream. There are indeed various and wonderfully distinct sounds. Banma achieves all the karma, whether it pertains to people or valuable property. You desire complete freedom and absolute control, whether you are human or non-human, if you wish to truly obtain them. If you want to attract this person, if you really want to get them, to achieve that, reciting this mantra indeed works very well. Siddhi accomplishes all activities. It is also a very common and widely applicable general activity. The powerful syllable hum effectively accomplishes all wrathful actions. Of course, these wrathful actions must also be based on compassion. Reciting Guru Rinpoche's sacred mantra for those who unfortunately create obstacles to your own spiritual practice, or for those who create significant obstacles to your important work, or even those who cause harm to the Dharma or to sentient beings. All of these challenges can be effectively subdued. Next, let us now proceed to recite the powerful and protective repelling mantra. Om Ahum Benza Guru Pema Siddhi Hum. This sacred mantra is a powerful invocation. With Om Ahum, one can effectively repel curses from some very powerful monks, as well as from Bon practitioners, including some ritual daggers. When they cast curses, in ancient times, curses were quite common. It seems that even in Han regions, there were such things, right? In the past, inside the imperial palace, sometimes they would make various exquisite things like intricate dolls and other decorative items, and use needles like in some movies and TV shows. They would go to others to learn some spells and then use needles to prick the doll. And it was said that this would harm the other person. This is also a kind of curse, right? As for curses, in some ancient primitive religions in the past, people believed that there were always such curses. That's why in many rituals of Tibetan Buddhism, including some curse rituals, and many counter-curse rituals, our Heart Sutra, it seems, was added later, it seems. Apparently in the original scriptures, it wasn't actually there, right? Later in Tibetan Buddhism and in Han Buddhism, it was never seen either. Among several different translations, it was not present. It should be that in Tibetan Buddhism, those who study the exoteric teachings last all use the Heart Sutra to begin the counter-curse ritual. As for counter-curse, when someone curses you, I recite this kind of mantra to counter it. Then not only does the other party fail to harm you, but instead the deadly weapon turns back on themselves with dire consequences. This is also a kind of an eye for an eye approach, isn't it? But there is absolutely no fault in this. Generally speaking, if you recite according to the counter-curse ritual, then there is no such fault. Banzi is to counter the wisdom deities that others have invoked and use them to cast curses. This kind of curse can be countered. Geri is to counter the 8 classes of devas and nagas. As for the 8 classes of devas and nagas, some sorcerers control them, making them create some obstacles. Although the 8 classes of devas and nagas are Dharma protectors in Buddhism, there are still such cases. But if you anger them, you will also need to perform counter rituals. There is also Banma to counter as well, the curses of worldly spirits and deities. Side is used to counter the curses of nagas and earth spirits, their curses. The syllable ham is used to counter the curses of humans, devas and ghosts, their curses. Actually, a significant number of these occurrences are often caused by people, aren't they? People frequently rely on various different rituals and established practices and then start to curse others. Many ways to cast curses, but generally we don't like to talk about these things. If we do, some people with good spiritual practice definitely wouldn't do such things. Those whose practice isn't good, if they understand this, they might immediately use it against people they have issues with, trying to find ways to target them, including in Han regions, using their specific zodiac sign and their precise birth date and time. After carefully writing these details down, in the past, in ancient shamanism, some experienced shamans also performed all kinds of rituals and ceremonies related to this. But in actual fact, no matter what the circumstances, Mahayana Buddhists, even if other people intentionally harm you, you absolutely cannot curse them or speak ill of them. It's just like some of the ancient immortals. They also wouldn't curse others. Of course, when we come into contact with these things, there's no need for everyone to be afraid. Whether it's from other traditions or our own Buddhist teachings, some people are especially worried about this, worried whether others might retaliate or whether they might anger these earth deities. Personally, I'm usually not afraid. Why? Because the more afraid you are, the more likely it is to happen. I must be careful, otherwise, will the spirits or deities be angered? Will they treat me like this? There's a saying in the world, what you fear is what comes to you. That if you're especially afraid of ghosts, ghosts will come. If you're especially afraid of being cursed by others, then others' curses will definitely come to you. Sometimes, even if no one is actually cursing you, it's just your own imagination. You keep thinking about it during the day. Oh, maybe some of our lay practitioners nowadays say, others are cursing me, what am I now? Most of these are just illusions. Others may not even have that kind of power. Indeed, nowadays, people are not as powerful as the sages of ancient India. Even if you use these rituals now, it may not take effect immediately. So everyone really doesn't need to, is it because I have a headache today? That just now that Dharma friend seemed to glare at me. Did he really go back and start performing some kind of a cursing ritual? It feels like my energy field is a bit off. We often have some Dharma friends who frequently say, this person started cursing me. That person started harming me. That person might... Most of these are just one's own delusions and discriminating thoughts. There is absolutely no such thing because the other person isn't doing that either. But maybe you feel that this person isn't good to you. Actually, as for me personally, some people often tell me, you need to be very careful, otherwise others might indeed curse you. But I haven't harmed anyone either. If they want to curse me, it doesn't really matter at all. Whether they curse me or file complaints against me, it's fine. Whether they call the police or report me, none of that really matters. Maybe by doing this, they're actually doing me a favor. So as far as I'm really concerned, personally, I've really never been afraid of these things. And then I just recite the Guru Rinpoche mantra. Even if others do have such intentions, maybe it's a karmic debt from a previous life that I owe them. It's fine to pay it back to them. But among our Dharma friends here, some people are truly like this themselves. Unlike those who study the great Illusory Net Sutra, And those who recite the Guru Rinpoche mantra, they are especially timid and fearful. They're always worried about everything, like what if someone angers the spirits or deities? There really are people like this among ordinary folks, especially among the less educated. Every day, as I mentioned yesterday, they're either getting their fortune told or their fate read, right? They're constantly living in fear. Of course, there are things in our behavior we should pay attention to, but there's really no need to be so afraid. If you really are that fearful, then in your dreams, in your experiences, in your daily life, all sorts of real and illusory demons will definitely appear. These are genuine manifestations of obstacles. At that point, it might be very hard for you to avoid them. So when it comes to curses and such things, there are some Guru Rinpoche mantras that are truly very meaningful. I once saw a story from Taiwan where a Dharma teacher from a Guru Rinpoche society, we talked about something significant that recently happened in the beautiful country of Bhutan. There was a humble farmer living in Bhutan who was unfortunately cursed by his bitter enemy. Later, he unfortunately lost his eyesight completely after he became blind, and despite this significant challenge, the Buddhist spiritual teacher advised him to recite the Guru Rinpoche mantra. At first, he even started to slander it. He was influenced by other religions. But later, day and night, since he couldn't see, he recited the Guru Rinpoche mantra. When he had recited it 300 million times, he saw Guru Rinpoche appear before him. Next, Guru Rinpoche gave him empowerments and blessings. Later, it seems that he continued to diligently recite until he had recited the Guru Rinpoche mantra an astonishing 600 million times. He also received various different and profound signs of blessings. It seems that in 2006, it was said that this person had manifested parinirvana. When he manifested parinirvana, the entire nation of Bhutan was truly shocked and deeply amazed by what transpired. Many undeniable signs of his profound spiritual accomplishment at that time made everyone have absolutely no choice but to develop a deep and unwavering faith. So sometimes, whether it's others' harsh criticism or whatever is said, you need to relax your mind. In fact, for true practitioners, if your mind is relaxed, there really are no problems at all. With many things in life, if your mind is feeling unsettled, it is often because of this particular reason. It leads to many obstacles and adverse conditions. So for all of us, there is absolutely no need to be truly afraid of any curses or hexes either at all. This really isn't necessary. Worrying about whether you might anger something, there's no need to be so afraid. Living in a state of panic every day, some of these worries are really just groundless fears. There's no need to worry so much. But there is indeed some panic. You should truly and often recite Guru Rinpoche's mantra. If you are really afraid, recite Guru Rinpoche's mantra more often. There's nothing inherently wrong with that. Oma hum benze ge riban masida hum. Now let's discuss the profound concept of the 5 poisons. Here we see the formidable demon army, which is directly caused by the pervasive influence of these 5 poisons. Because the troubles ahead are our inner troubles. And here various things arise due to the 5 poisons. Because some are enemies created by the demon of greed, the adversaries that we face and the challenges that confront us are indeed significant. Some are adversaries created by the demon of anger. Some are the demon of jealousy. All those who appear before us, many of these people are actually part of the demon retinue. Use Om Aham to destroy the demon army of the 5 poisons. This is a general statement. The main thing is our own afflictions, which are projected onto the external world and manifest as these outer demons. Benza completely destroys the demon army of anger, those that arise from anger, completely. It's just like precisely how various countries are currently fighting each other now, how individual people fight with one another, how even Dharma friends contend amongst themselves, all these formidable demon armies that arise from intense anger. Actually, all of these formidable entities can be accurately called demon armies. Use greed to effectively destroy the formidable demon army of pride. Use Pema to destroy the demon army of greed. Use Siddhi to effectively destroy the formidable demon army of jealousy. By reciting the sacred syllable hum, if you diligently recite hum, you can completely destroy the various demon armies brought forth by God's spirits and humans. Especially now in the degenerate age, as we have quoted before, Padmasambhava said, Meaning that at that time, Padmasambhava prophesied, in the future there will be a period of time when truly malevolent male demons will eventually enter the hearts of Tibetan men, female demons will enter the hearts of women, and one-horned evil ghosts will enter the hearts of children. Each individual person will be controlled by various different kinds of malevolent demons. At that time, Tibet experienced a period of suffering. For a period of time, it was indeed like this. Back in the early 1960s and 1970s, during that significant and transformative period of time, many monasteries in Tibet, including some Buddha statues, many of them were, of course, with the help of some other means. It was a rather special period at that time, and there were indeed some effects from it. But in reality, this included the smashing of Buddha statues and the widespread destruction of monasteries. Most of it was actually done by ourselves. Previously, these were individuals who had complete and unwavering faith, but at that particular time, their minds were completely and utterly out of control. Actually, when a person is truly possessed by malevolent demons, no matter how diligently you practiced before, it's entirely useless. No matter how good your character was before, it's useless. No matter how beautiful you were before, it's useless. As long as the mind is completely disturbed, then it begins. We often say, are you possessed by demons? If someone is possessed, they have no freedom of their own. They have no ability to control themselves at all. So at times like this, reciting Guru Rinpoche's sacred heart mantra is still extremely beneficial and profoundly helpful. All of these various demons, apart from those caused by the 5 poisons and afflictions, are not truly real or substantial. There really aren't any others. So as for these demons, Guru Rinpoche's heart mantra can resolve them. It seems that in the past, His Holiness mentioned when teaching the pith instructions of Mifam Rinpoche, but later, we're not sure if it's included in Never Apart. At that time, didn't His Holiness talk about it? He spoke about the time of the first Dudjom Rinpoche, when there was a person named Ache Sangye. He truly believed that he had already attained the profound state of Buddhahood, a state of complete enlightenment. He tied his hat into a top knot like a flesh protuberance and told others, I have already become a Buddha. Sometimes he would jump off the roof saying, I can fly. As a result, he ended up with very serious injuries. Then he insisted that Dudjom Rinpoche must authenticate him, proclaiming, I have now attained realization. Dudjom Rinpoche said, you have not attained realization. It's just a deluded phenomenon. But he thought, this is the master being jealous of me. He believed he had surpassed his teacher. Then he went looking for other people later on. Maybe it was last year or sometime. Maybe this was mentioned sometime this year. Later, Jamjang Khyentse Wangbo then told him, saying to him, so he went to find Jamjang Khyentse Wangbo. Then Jamjang Khyentse Wangbo said, your realization is correct. But if I am to verify and authenticate it, I have a request. What request? You need to recite the Guru Rinpoche mantra 10 million times. After you finish reciting, I can then write you a formal certificate and sign it for you. This person truly believed it was correct. In the end, he successfully finished reciting the Guru Rinpoche mantra 10 million times. Just as he completed the 10 million recitations of the Guru Rinpoche mantra, it seemed as if, either in a dream or in a vision, a monk appeared, falling to the ground. In the end, all the previous illusions he had experienced completely disappeared. So sometimes the demons in our hallucinations do exist, and sometimes there are also demons in real life. Some come in all sorts of forms, whether they are human, celestial, or non-human demons. Actually, for us practitioners nowadays, sometimes it's true that during practice, we encounter many obstacles caused by demons. At such times, one can recite the Guru Rinpoche mantra. Even I, sometimes when encountering demonic obstacles, do face them. Although I am not very afraid, it's common to encounter demonic obstacles. Especially during periods when these obstacles arise, I would often make some offerings and have the monastic community recite some scriptures. And then I would diligently recite the Guru Rinpoche mantra myself, the mantra of Padmasambhava, as well as some wrathful Vajra mantras, and our original red-colored photo of the precious Guru Rinpoche, a tiger's nest, and images of the wrathful Guru. These would all be taken out and placed on my pillow when I slept at night. After doing this for 2 or 3 days, that feeling would completely disappear. There really is some blessing from Guru Rinpoche. I am deeply convinced of this myself, especially in this degenerate age. Now is a time when negative forces are rampant. If you only have some peaceful deity mantras, I honestly don't have very much expectation. For example, when there are especially strong and difficult obstacles, if I recite the Manjushri mantra, then I always feel that he is just too compassionate. The Avalokiteshvara mantra is very powerful, but perhaps it still requires the mantra of Guru Rinpoche, which is a bit better, because he has many subjugation mantras, and the key points of many tantras mantras are contained within this. So perhaps in the very near future, in our own lives and practice, when we encounter some obstacles or demonic interferences, we should still hold on to the image of Guru Rinpoche. It feels as if these obstacles are immediately like when there are especially troublesome and persistent thieves. We call the police to come over, and those troublesome thieves just vanish without a trace. There are some effective remedies like this that can be applied. In our world, all things and phenomena, they're yin and yang. If they are in opposition, their power is weak. Ultimately, it still relies on a certain fundamental natural principle, on a certain law, and there are differences. All Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are originally the same in wisdom. Guru Rinpoche and Shakyamuni Buddha are not different. But when it comes to subduing demonic forces, Guru Rinpoche's power in this regard is truly formidable. So in this respect, of course, if you don't believe it yourself, it's perfectly fine. We haven't actually charged any fees at all, right? If we had indeed actually charged a small service fee and later the practice we didn't work, you could simply say, hey, didn't you say it was really powerful at the time? No matter how many times I recited it, nothing happened. So either you refund my money or maybe you're actually a fraud. But we didn't really have anything at all this time. Mainly, you can absolutely come and see for yourself. The following is about Om Ahum Benza Gariban Masida Hum. Om Ahum is chanted to obtain the Siddhi of body, speech, and mind. Through this practice, one can obtain various powerful Siddhis. Banze obtains the Siddhi of the peaceful and wrathful deities. Garai obtains the Siddhi of the Vidyadhara Guru. Banma obtained the Siddhi of the Dakini protector. Siddhi obtains special and common Siddhi. With Hum, one truly attains all the Siddhis one deeply desires. We often have many things that we genuinely wish for in our lives. In terms of obtaining them, whether it's food, clothing, or drink, fame, wealth, temporary or ultimate Siddhis, Siddhi means accomplishment. Many of us want to achieve different accomplishments. Chant the Guru Rinpoche mantra more often. The Guru Rinpoche mantra truly is, if you want to gain wealth, reciting the Guru Rinpoche mantra is the best way. If you want to gain some fame, the Guru Rinpoche mantra is like a wish-fulfilling jewel. You can obtain anything you desire. This is also very important. Om Ahum Benza Guru Pema Siddhi Hum. With Om Ahum, one is reborn in the pure land of Samantabhadra Tathagata, in the original pure realm where the nature is non-dual and inseparable. With Benza, one is reborn in the eastern pure land of manifest joy. With Guru, one is reborn in the southern pure land of perfect qualities. With Pema, in the western pure land great bliss. With Siddhi, in the northern pure land activity. With Hum, in the central pure land Akshobhya Buddha. This means if someone who recites Amitabha's name also recites the Guru Rinpoche mantra, they can later be reborn in the pure land of great bliss. If you really wish to go to the eastern pure land of manifest joy, or the central pure land of Akshobhya, if you chant this powerful spell, the overall effect of this profound and ancient spell will be to let the land you have deeply vowed for become yours. The true meaning is that you will definitely be reborn into that place. Om Ahum Benze Gariban Masida Hum. Om Ahum attains the fruition of the three bodies, which are the enlightened forms. This is in general, obtaining the fruition of the dwelling place Vidyadhara through Banze. Attain fruition of longevity and freedom Vidyadhara through Giri. Attain fruition of Mahamudra Vidyadhara through Banma. Attain fruition of spontaneously accomplished Vidyadhara through Siddhi. Attain fruition emanation Vidyadhara through syllable Hum. Everyone who has studied Great Illusory Net knows that Vidyadhara, Vajrayana, a special term for the accomplishment of the 5 paths and 10 bhumis. This is something that both Vimalamitra and the Soba tradition have different interpretations of. For example, according to Vimalamitra, from the ordinary state to Buddhahood, the emanation Vidyadhara refers to the ordinary state. The Vidyadhara of longevity and freedom corresponds to the path of seeing, and the Mahamudra Vidyadhara corresponds to the path of cultivation. And the spontaneously accomplished Vidyadhara is attained at the time of Buddhahood. According to the Soba tradition, All of these are encompassed from the 1st to the 10th bhumi. So generally in the Grand Vidyadhara Dharma assemblies, Vidyadhara specifically refers to a truly great accomplishment in Vajrayana spiritual practice. Then we chant the Guru Rinpoche's mantra, also obtain the 4 kinds of Vidyadhara fruition. Here is the summary. Oma hum benza gariba masu de hum. Recite the Guru Rinpoche mantra once. If it has color, then the entire world is also truly difficult to fully and completely accommodate. There is a kind of hypothetical language in Buddhism that talks about its merits. The merits of our conversion are also difficult for the world to accommodate. The merit of generating bodhicitta is also difficult for the world to contain. Including the merit of reciting mantras is also truly quite unimaginable. In our worldly life, we often say that even the entire world cannot hold it. Including us worldly people, his suffering, even the entire world cannot fully contain it. Someone's profound love truly fills the whole wide world, and even the vast world itself cannot completely contain it. It profoundly shakes the very foundations of the world, and so on and so forth. There are also some exaggerated figures of speech in the world, but here it truly is a profound and extraordinary kind of merit that is utterly beyond words. Beings who perceive, hear, or recall this remarkable and sacred teaching will definitely be placed among the ranks of male and female Vidyadharas. This means that when we see the Guru Rinpoche heart mantra, hear the Guru Rinpoche heart mantra, or often think of the Guru Rinpoche heart mantra, these beings will ultimately attain the highest possible accomplishment in the practice of Vajrayana. This is indeed the unfailing, profoundly true and authentic word of the Guru Rinpoche heart mantra. If there is such immense and great merit, then this is undeniably the true and genuine word. If it does not manifest in this particular way, if it does not come to fruition exactly as wished and intended, then there might be other factors at play. Then Guru Padmasambhava said, I have deceived you sentient beings. But as Guru Padmasambhava, a highly revered Vidyadhara who has attained the inseparable and profound fruit of ultimate realization, he would never intentionally deceive any sentient beings. Therefore, let us, as his devoted later followers, diligently practice according to his profound teachings. We must conscientiously practice the sacred mantra of Guru Padmasambhava. Indeed, I also truly hope that many of us, many people, are now reciting it at this very moment, reciting 10 million times in a year. Some lay practitioners are truly remarkable. They are indeed very impressive. So, I think this time our encouragement to recite Guru Rinpoche's heart mantra is not just a temporary craze. I hope it will truly become an integral part of our daily lives from now on. Some of our Dharma friends have been, for more than 10 or even 20 years now, practicing diligently, reciting 108 times Guru Rinpoche's heart mantra daily, 108 times of other mantras, and 21 times of the Vajrasattva mantra. Actually, this is also very good, because time passes by quickly, little by little. If you recite 108 times every day, then after 100 days it will be over 10,000 times. You will naturally accumulate a lot this way. On the first day of New Year's Day 2023, I posted a Weibo message. I said, whoever can recite Guru Rinpoche's heart mantra 108 times, it seems the merit is very great, or something like that. I just checked it earlier. It has 1.38 million views. That might just be a portion of it. With that many views, I don't know who actually read it. At the time, I didn't ask those making the vow to like the post. I did not make such a request. This is primarily because at this current time, I prefer to maintain a significantly low profile. Furthermore, some of our relevant leaders have specifically reminded me on multiple occasions to consistently stay low-key, to remain even more low-key, and to be as low-key as possible. So I genuinely think whether it's online or elsewhere, it's generally better to say as little as humanly possible. That might indeed be a bit more effective and prudent. But for things like the Guru Rinpoche heart mantra, I still hope, whether it's through your own personal audio recordings or by reciting it in various other creative ways, it is still considered to be very good and highly commendable. Encouraging more people to recite the Guru Rinpoche heart mantra, there's actually nothing illegal about this. Everyone practices individually, and if individuals choose to use other alternative audio methods for their listening needs and preferences to receive these teachings, there's nothing against the rules about that either. It's great if everyone can benefit from it. And then if this mantra is made into prayer flags and placed on high mountaintops or similar elevated places, all sentient beings touched by the gentle wind will be liberated without exception. Same Avalokiteshvara mantra prayer flags. Nowadays, in places environmental protection, there are regulations against hanging everywhere. I also sincerely hope that our Dharma friends who are present here won't surround their houses with an excessive number of prayer flags. Otherwise, others might think you've already passed away. Generally, in Tibetan areas, after someone dies, prayer flags are placed where the person passed away. So it's generally best not to hang too many of these on your house. Of course, if you do decide to hang some decorative streamers, then that's perfectly fine. If it's a bit convenient in the city, then it's okay to do so. But at our institute around us now, a couple of days ago, we discussed that some of the prayer flags above us seem to have all been completely blown away by the strong wind, it appears. Some are already old and have fallen to the ground, and many people walk over them, which is also not good at all. In the future, when hanging prayer flags, try not to put them on the grasslands or by the roadside situated on the western hill nearby. Some are by the bridge. If they're by the bridge or under the bridge, then sentient beings often step over them, which is also a fault. So generally, if you have some prayer flags, it's better to place them in more secluded and clean places. It's not necessary for people to see them. Nowadays, many people, when doing good deeds, feel that they must be seen. Whether it's placing treasure vases or hanging prayer flags, they feel the need to show off. If any virtuous act becomes a means for showing off, then there is no real merit in it. So, when it comes to prayer flags with the Guru Rinpoche mantra, they actually carry great merit as well. But no matter where it is, nowadays it's becoming increasingly inconvenient to hang prayer flags. It's truly inconvenient to hang prayer flags, and it's also quite inconvenient to do life release. Even smoke offerings have become incredibly inconvenient. There were some things that I used to enjoy the most, and now they are difficult to do. But now there are restrictions here. Restrictions apply. If it's about negative actions, the opposite is convenient everywhere. But we shouldn't do negative deeds just because it's convenient, nor should we ever stop doing good deeds, even if it becomes inconvenient. We still absolutely need to do them. However, everyone should pay careful attention to the specific way we do them. You can also meticulously carve or write them on the earth itself, on wood or on stones. Nowadays, we see these by the roadside, especially in Tibetan areas. It's common to see the Avalokiteshvara mantra by the roadside. There are various prominent slogans prominently written on them, and directly next to these, situated across from our esteemed institute, a particular slogan distinctly states "building dreams." In the Chinese language, that is precisely what is clearly written. And in the ancient and revered Tibetan language, it distinctly proclaims Lama Chen, or sometimes, "May the precious Guru bless me." Anyway, they're kinds, some written on mountains, some carved mani mantras, and some Guru Rinpoche mantras. By the roadside in Sirtar, they're carved Guru Rinpoche mantra. It's written on the mountain. In this way, the merit of seeing, hearing, remembering, or touching is great. So after consecrating it, place it by the roadside. Why put it by the roadside? Because many people can see and contact it there. That's the idea, giving people the opportunity. Of course, if inconvenient, nowadays there are also inconveniences with placing things by the roadside. Whoever sees these individuals, including those who may be facing some epidemic-related obstacles, all of these can be completely purified. Even the local spirits and deities living there will stay away. There are also some written in gold powder on blue paper, tied to the body, and all obstacles and evil influences. Just like our liberation by wearing amulet, actually, on the liberation by wearing amulet back in 2016 or maybe 2015, I specifically made a pendant which had Guru Rinpoche's mantra on it, and inside it contained the hair and clothing of the precious Dharma king. One side had Guru Rinpoche's mantra, and the other side had the Garuda. I designed it very carefully at the time. Once, during a Nirvana puja or some other event, one of our people, I thought, if you wear Guru Rinpoche's mantra on your body, many spirits and demons won't be able to harm you. So in the future, let's also consider putting some things inside the liberation by wearing amulet, like just writing on a blue paper with gold powder and then placing it inside the amulet as well. No obstacles or evil forces will be able to harm you. If this person passes away, just like I mentioned earlier about the liberation by wearing amulet, if you burn Guru Rinpoche's mantra together with the body without separating them, then beautiful rainbows will certainly appear, and this fortunate person will definitely be reborn in the pure land of great bliss. Finally, there is a humble request for all of us. The immense merit of Guru Rinpoche's powerful mantra is truly immeasurable. I truly hope that everyone will write it out by hand. Nowadays, not many people actually write by hand, but if we were to print or photocopy it, then including now, for example, the merit of Guru Rinpoche's mantra, if you give it to others, there shouldn't be any problem with that, right? If you give it to others, actually, whether you give out one copy or print it once, the merit should be the same. In the past, paper was required, but now it's a kind of illusory paper. Everything on it is already exactly as it should be. This Guru Rinpoche mantra, if the audio version is not very convenient to access, then it is still very beneficial. You can send the text to those with a karmic connection. Actually, this is already considered as writing it out. In the past, we used to handwrite or compose it more often. Now, if you were to send it out just once, then it should have the same merit as writing it out once. So one is writing it out and the other is reciting it. You should recite the Guru Rinpoche mantra yourself. In this way, the merit is inconceivable. So this kind of Guru Rinpoche mantra is for the benefit of sentient beings in the future. Then Guru Rinpoche said, I will conceal it as a terma in a certain place. As for exactly where Karma Lampa retrieved it, it is not mentioned here. May all those with a karmic connection truly encounter it and find their destined path. Because Guru Rinpoche, didn't he make aspirations and entrust the lineage in our tradition? If he made aspirations and entrusted the lineage, at that time he made aspirations and entrusted them to his disciples. Later, because his aspiration was extremely strong, these disciples, relying on various causes and conditions, eventually arrived here. After arriving, they used a yellow scroll as a sign of transmission. The yellow scroll contains indications of the lineage. Generally, when a terton receives a yellow scroll, this yellow scroll is just like a USB drive for us. A simple object is handed over to you, and relying on these clear indications, one can truly reveal the terma. Actually, revealing terma does not necessarily mean digging up the ground. Nowadays, some tertons take a hoe or some other tool and start digging hard. Of course, in some cases, this is true for certain statues and such. But most truly valuable terma treasures, just as I mentioned yesterday, are often hidden deep within one's own sphere of profound wisdom. Then, relying on certain causes and conditions, they are recalled. He completely recalls the scenes from the time of Guru Padmasambhava. Everything is remembered with perfect clarity. It seems as if, through the profound power of certain specific conditions, everything is completely and utterly pure. When I was diligently writing Memoirs of Dream Dust, they asked, is this a terma? I said, this isn't called a terma. This is something that should be one's own, because it hasn't been many years, nor has it spanned lifetimes. It's not about past and present lives. It truly is due to a certain specific cause and condition that one can indeed recall certain things. It's like in some movies with a compass or something similar, where relying entirely upon that, many significant past events are clearly remembered. At that particular time, I also heavily relied upon a somewhat torn calendar. Now, I am diligently looking for a specific 1995 calendar. I think when I find the one from 1995, I'll write about it again. Our Khenpo said that he has all the calendars. I asked, so how are the records from 1995? He said, during that period there was nothing at all. That's what he told me. Perhaps he might have written it down somewhere else, and that particular material could have gotten lost. So I might not even know either. I wonder if the events of 1995 could be written as some kind of memoir. This is a kind of aspiration for the future. I also hope for the blessings of the Dharma protectors. If any Dharma friends have some connections, in 1995 we went to Singapore, you see. At the beginning of 1995, then to Malaysia and also Hong Kong. At that particular point in time, the few of us who went to India, and then we subsequently added Khenpo Tsultrim Lodra to the group, we all went together. The Dharma King went abroad a total of 3 times. I had the chance to go all 3 times. So I've basically written about the first 2 times. The last one was a bit more recent than this, but for some reason my memory of that one is even more vague. I don't know why. As for India and the West, there are still some things I can recall more clearly. Then for the entire last month, there were only a few precious things like Khenpo Sodargye when we were joking by the seaside, those particular moments I can truly remember. But a lot of the other things are all kind of blurry. But maybe, depending on some other conditions, I'll remember them when the time comes. The capital of Malaysia is called Kuala Lumpur. We went there, and at that particular time it was the Karma Kagyu Center, and then the Singapore Buddhist Fellowship. We received some profound teachings that His Holiness, the Dharma King, graciously gave at that specific time, such as the Manjushri Great Perfection and Self-Liberation in Equality. Anyway, that month, the whole process was relatively simple. Maybe if the conditions are right, I'll write about it. In any case, actually, these great totems, treasure revealers, later due to certain circumstances, many, many lifetimes ago, Padmasambhava said it was like this at the time, and now it can be recorded. After it is recorded, it carries a very powerful blessing. So, authentic Dharma teachings possess great blessings. Therefore, when we practice Dharma teachings in the future, it's generally considered best to choose those particular texts from the treasury of Dharma. The specific ones included within that collection are highly regarded, because those are already recognized by everyone as authentic tertons. Most of the teachings contained within are quite good. As for later Dharma texts, they are also significant. They're like mushrooms growing on the ground. There are all kinds of tertons, and there are all kinds of Dharma teachings as well, so it's not so easy to say for sure. Samaya, seal, seal, seal indeed. Many seals have been stamped, kept strictly secret from those with the wrong views. Seal it, seal it, seal it. Entrusted to those who hold the vows. Seal, seal, seal. Sometimes I remember once when I went abroad, I had to stamp many seals. Many seals were stamped. And then Guru Rinpoche, sometimes we ourselves can't tell the difference either. Samaya, seal, seal, seal. It must be kept secret from those with wrong views. Seal, seal, seal. Many seals have been stamped. For those with the right connection, you must explain it to them. Again, many seals stamped. So seal, seal, seal. Anyway, there are 9 seals here. The Nirmanakaya Karma Lingpa revealed the Dharma, and it was transcribed from yellow paper. All right, this Dharma is indeed a profound and truly significant teaching, especially Karma Lingpa's, as we mentioned earlier. His Dharma teachings possess extremely great blessing power. Moreover, the 6 Bardos teachings have also been widely propagated. In the future, we too, including the 6 Bardos teachings, are now gradually being made available to many people. Especially for those who have completed the preliminaries and received empowerment, we also want to provide some resources. Whether it's previous audio recordings or videos, I've been teaching the 6 Bardos for nearly 10 years now, haven't I? Now, we may also provide these valuable resources to everyone. I sincerely hope that you will also pray very earnestly yourselves with deep devotion. These Dharma teachings of Karma Lingpa, this time the circumstances are very auspicious. I am also very happy that this teaching has been completed. I also hope that everyone from now on and forever will keep the Guru Rinpoche mantra in your hearts. If we have the opportunity, we will talk more about it in future. The merits of the Guru Rinpoche mantra are extremely numerous. This subject is indeed very vast and especially abundant. If we are fortunate enough to have the opportunity in the future, we will certainly delve into this topic and discuss it in much greater depth once again. This specific event or discussion took place on August 26, 2009. Today, as we are speaking, is August 19th. Isn't that right? Therefore, a considerable number of years have passed since that time. There's nothing else. Today, it might have been a little late. Let's all truly dedicate the merit together.
Bandara